afternoon. So, we will now start with your interview. So, for the first segment, this is the brand. This segment examines how your campaign presents itself to the public, and you will be shown one of your official campaign materials. And you will have 30 seconds to prepare and 30 seconds to answer. So your response will begin automatically.
Wait, sorry. Maka-access ka ano?
Ang sama campaign.
So, kung story of the city.
Balik ka.
Balik ka.
Chuba-chuba na ito yung may quality.
Pwede po yung ito ikat yan.
Naka-pang ang mas pala lang yung balik.
Ay,
Ay, nakalagay clarifications, concerns. Okay lang. Okay.
Sa kanina part, sa segment 1 last time, pakita lang nalo ang isang campaign material ninyo. So, i-mo siyang basakon. So, pwede mo siya i-internalize like silently. Then, if okay na ka, clearly put down ang phone, tapos mag-question experience din mo. 15 seconds na yun na preparation. So, start again. You should.
is that lang again?
Ha?
Is that lang again?
Exactly.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, so for segment 1, this is the brand. This segment examines how your campaign presents itself to the public. You will be shown one of your official campaign materials and asked to respond. You will have 30 seconds to prepare and 30 seconds to answer. Your response will begin automatically. Here's your campaign material.
Now, the Executive Secretary is the custodian of the SBM's institutional memory, minutes, archives, and clerical systems. This role is fundamentally about administrative stability, which stands in contrast to the dynamic and fluid imagery of a living movement. Your campaign characterizes DASIG as a living movement defined by sexual action. Given that the Executive Secretary's success is measured by clerical precision, documentation, and administrative neutrality, how does this movement narrative translate into the daily technical operations of your office? Now, in 30 seconds, Sabina, explain how a dynamic movement identity improves the static requirement of SBM record keeping. Or again, let me repeat, your campaign is about a living movement, but your job needs strict and stable documentation. How will this idea actually improve record keeping?
So my position, I'm running for Executive Secretary under the SBMSC. So the question was, my campaign characterized DASIG as a living movement and defined by sectoral action. And how would this connects to the my position that I am running for? I believe that being a executive secretary is needs to be needs to
So, let's proceed to segment 2, which is the inquest. The inquest assesses your technical understanding and the viability of your platform. You will be asked one question related to governance or implementation. You will have 15 seconds to process and 45 seconds to respond. The question will be repeated twice only.
So I'm also going to read the question. According to Article 3, Section 6 of the SBMSE Charter, a constituent shall have the right to speedy justice in any tribunal. Dilatory motions shall be of court in all courts and tribunals. In a scenario where the SBMSE constituents call for the removal of an SBMSE officer, evidence to be misappropriating organizational funds, the council must act in favor of the removal immediately, regardless of the pleas of the SBMSE officer to be given a chance to explain, since there is already direct evidence of the misappropriation. Is this a fact or fake?
So the first sentence is fact because this is stated under the charter. We have Charter 2023 under the SBMSE, but the scenario given is fake because I believe we have the naatay katungod to defend ourselves and moagi dapat jud siya og due process.
Okay, thank you for that one, Sabina. Second, according to Article 6, Section 3.4, the Office of the Secretariat shall be responsible for the collection and compilation of all the important documents of the Council, such as memorandums, executive and administrative orders, minutes of the meeting, project proposals, liquidation reports, documentation reports, and the like, on or before the end of the year. Considering that the Secretariat depends on other Council members to submit their respective reports, what measures will you take to enforce strict compliance among your fellow officers to ensure the Council remains in good standing with the administration's documentation requirements? Again, according to Article 6, Section 3.4, the Office of the Secretariat shall be responsible for the collection and compilation of all the important documents of the Council, such as memorandums, executive and administrative orders, minutes of the meeting, project proposals, liquidation reports, documentation reports, and the like, on or before the end of the year. Considering that the Secretariat depends on other Council members to submit their respective reports, what measures will you take to enforce strict compliance among your fellow officers to ensure the Council remains in good standing with the administration's documentation requirements?
So the mechanism I will do to ensure the strict compliance of the documents under the fellow officers, one would be penalties or like fines for them because this will also this will also empower them to be more strict sa deadlines na ginahatag, especially sa mga papers because it will also reflect sa pud silang klase nga leader sa ilang department or office.
Thank you for that, Sabina. This will be your last question for this segment. Now, is the platform Athlete Acad, SBM Athletes Communication, truly worthy of implementation? Or is it simply another group chat and email system that duplicates existing communication channels? Again, is the platform Athlete Acad SBM Athletes Communication truly worthy of implementation? Or is it simply another group chat and email system that duplicates existing communication channels?
So the platform at Athlete Lacan we had is worthy of implementation because this will serve as an avenue for us as BM students to have a connections sa tanan cover na under sa SBM, especially nga ang nara nga karon kay kanang by batch kay or by year nga messenger.
So for the segment 3, this is called the pulse. This segment reflects student sentiment, and you will select one concern at random, read it aloud, and respond. You will have 30 seconds to prepare and 60 seconds to answer. Your response should address the concern directly.
The pulse. The Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, has officially approved a policy allowing all higher education institutions to transition to 100% online classes due to the ongoing national fuel and power crisis. While this shift addresses larger systemic issues, it also disrupts student life, limiting physical engagement, straining access to stable internet and electricity, and reshaping how students' government operate. Given the situation, how will you ensure that your proposed projects and initiatives remain implementable in a fully online setup? Are they financially sustainable under these constraints? And more importantly, are they still responsive to the actual involving problems students face in a crisis-driven environment? So the agenda we have, Pag-Alima has very diverse na agendas we have proposed. So most of it kay pwede siya online, especially sa legis na part, and then I believe it will also give us the office a actual and some students have expressed interest in having peer-led tutoring programs within the organization, similar to those implemented in other departments where senior students mentor juniors on shared academic topics. While this could enhance academic support, it also raises concerns about the added responsibility placed on senior students who already manage heavy workloads. As a student leader, would you support the implementation of a peer tutoring system within your organization? If so, how will you ensure that it effectively benefits struggling students? without placing an unfair burden on senior members. Mentors. Sorry. So, I believe na ma-implement siya, but us na lower years sa seniors should know how to understand or kanang to understand nga dili ra pud sila ay mangita tag mentor or seniors rather na mag-tutor sa to nga dili ra kayo pud nga na ang workload kay I think responsibility pud nato na if mo mo engage ka sa student ay peer-led tutoring rather kay you should pick a or like na kay friend ra nimo nga senior or maistoryahan ra nimo nga if okay ra ba yung align ba yung schedule.
So let's proceed to segment 4. This is the gauntlet. This segment evaluates your decision making under constraint. You will be given an ethical dilemma with no clear resolution. After the prompt, there will be 15 seconds of silence. You will then have 60 seconds to present your decision and justification.
Okay. Now, you have stated that your identity as a leader is committed to justice and selfless service, and that you lead with a conviction of solidarity. Most importantly, you have declared that accountability is your non-negotiable principle, specifically how you respond when things go wrong and staying true to your responsibilities even when no one is watching. This scenario tests the physical limit of that honesty, or this is the scenario. As Executive Secretary, you are the sole custodian of the official minutes and the archives of a controversial executive session. While reviewing the records when no one is watching, you discover a clerical error you made that accidentally omits a piece of evidence. This evidence could prove that your political party, the source of your solidarity, unintentionally violated a minor election protocol. Now, if you choose to own your decision and correct the archive publicly, your party will face immediate legal sanctions, potentially ending their campaign and destroying the true progress you believe in. Now, if you leave the archive as it is, no one will ever know the error. Your party remains empowered to pursue equity and empowerment, and the administrative stability of the council is preserved. Now, do you prioritize solidarity by protecting your party's future through a convenient clerical silence, or do you prioritize your accountability by exposing your own mistake, even if it leads to the total collapse of the movement you represent? What is your definitive course of action? Again, let's say if your mistake could harm your party, what will you choose? Is it to protect your party or admit the mistake and be accountable? What will you do, Sabina?
I will own the mistake I made. Kay, I will not, I will not disregard na even though solidarity means like i-uphold na ko siya sa akong party, but I made a mistake man, so I will own it yun and bahalag bahalag makaguba siya sa other organization because I have a moral conduct na kuan nga gina-uphold jud and it will never be shaken even though gamay na siya, ay minor na siya. Na mistake.
So for segment 5, this is the verdict. So this is your final statement. You will be asked one question, identical for all candidates. After a brief pause, you will have 30 seconds to respond. Your answer will conclude the segment.
Now this will be your final question. So Sabina, when the title is gone, what remains of your service? Or what do you want people to remember of you?
Even when the title is gone, I hope the people will remember me as someone who who's organized, or who also uphold the a leader who's accountable, a leader who's in service even though wala siya kapalit, or like wala siya makuha in return.
So that ends your interview. So congratulations. Wala talaga.
Wala sa lang.
Yeah.
Sige, pwede ya. Mga...
Ano ate?
Asa na sila? Asa na sila?
Pila po niya. Ay,
Sino na magkila kung ano yung mga